Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Too Many Turtles, the card game. It's important to stress that what you're looking at here is a prototype, so everything that you're about to see is subject to change. The game is actually on Kickstarter right now as of the date of this recording, so if you like what you see here, there's a link in the below description. You can click on that and learn more about the game and possibly support it. So what are you trying to do in Too Many Turtles, the card game? Well, you're trying to win 2 out of 3 rounds. To win a round, you're going to be laying turtle cards into your personal tableau. And your goal is to have the highest scoring turtles in your tableau compared to your opponent when the round is over. So let's just quickly show you what my prototype copy came with. Here's a quick look at the box insert. You've got some tokens in here, both red and blue. They represent +1 and -1 tokens. As the game progresses and as you lay down cards, certain card effects will say, you know, add +1 or +2 HP to this turtle because this and this and this, or so on. So you'll be using these tokens to track those effects. You've got a biome zone. You can only have one biome zone in play at a time, and this will determine, you know, maybe a special condition that might be taking effect at that point in time, and biomes can be removed and added and so on. You've got at least 25 cards per deck. My prototype copy came with enough cards to accommodate both players, and they were pre-built for me. From my understanding and from what I'm told, there's going to be other decks for sale in the future so that players can, you know, mix and match. They can experiment, try things out. That's really cool. So it's a little bit of a deck builder that way. But my copy came with 2 preset decks, and I've just left them as is because I'm not an expert at this by any means. You've got a turn tracker here. The game is played, or every round has 10 turns in it. The manual says 5 turns, but I find that a little misleading. It's 5 turns per player. So player 1's going to take a turn, player 2, player 1, player 2, back and forth, until each player has had 5 full turns. And on a turn, well, first of all, you're going to draw 7 cards to form your starting hand at the beginning of every round, and your tableau will be wiped. Now, the only thing that remains, from what I'm told, are special cards that will ruin your land in front of you. Some cards can be played onto your opponent's tableau, and that will ruin the spaces and limit their ability to put these turtles down. Your tableau is built up of 9 spaces. There's 2 on top, 3 in the middle, and 4 on the bottom. So think of it like a pyramid. If you want to see like a visual representation of that, it's going to look something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, obviously, you wouldn't seed your tableau this way, but you get the idea of what your imaginary tableau will look like, and that's the spaces that you'll have available to you when you're laying down cards. So again, you're going to draw a hand of 7 cards. Cards are usually going to be either an effect or an actual turtle. And on your turn, what you're going to do, and here's a quick look at the manual for those of you that are curious. The manual will tell you what the basic setup of a card looks like, how to set up the game. Here's that pyramid thing that I was talking about. And then starting hand gives you the ability to mulligan should you want to. And at the beginning of your turn, you're going to go ahead and draw a card from your deck. Now, I'm not going to play a full game or anything like that. This is just for demonstration purposes. So I picked up a card from my deck. I'm going to take a look at my hand. And next is the move phase. Here, I'll be able to move a turtle that might be on my tableau up to the next row, and this will affect scoring, which I'll get to in a little bit. After that is the turtle phase. You'll pick a turtle in your hand, and then you'll go ahead and put it down into the back row. Again, your back row is one of the 4 spaces on your back row, and then your goal is going to be moving them up. And the higher that you can move them, if you get them to the top row, for example, you'll score a lot more points. And again, moving is the phase prior to this. After that, after you put a turtle down, I'll just put down that one, that's fine. Then the effect phase takes effect. Again, you'll have different cards that do different things, like this is a biome card, this river. Place this card into the biome square on the, or the biome space on the tracker board while this card remains in play. All freshwater turtles have +1 HP. Well, it just so happens I have a freshwater turtle, so maybe I might want to play this card onto the biome zone, and that will take effect for the game until that is removed or replaced, what have you. And then, of course, I've got these other cards that I could have used. As you can see, they're pretty colorful. They do different things. There's more effect cards here. Trash, target an empty space on your opponent's side. So this is an example of, a card that you could play on your opponent and limit his spaces. And then after you're done with that, after you're done playing one effect card, that'll end the current turn for you, and then your opponent will do the same thing. This will go back and forth with each player getting 5 full turns until the round ends. So let's just say at the end of the round, let's say this is the middle row, let's say I have another turtle, and I'm just going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to put maybe a turtle up here, and I don't have any more turtles here, so let's just say I find one here. I'll put that in the back row. Sure. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to add the HP values of the turtles in the upper right-hand corner of these cards, and then you're going to add so many points based on where they're currently sitting. If you have turtles in the back row, they are worth 1 extra point. If you have turtles in the middle row, they are worth 2 extra points. And if you have turtles on the top row, that is 3 extra points per card. So you're going to be adding their HP plus their bonus points, adding them all up. You're going to compare that value with their opponents. And again, you want to make sure that you're keeping track. This is a biome, for example. So you're going to want to add, it looks like, 1 HP for each freshwater turtle that you have, so obviously you'd want to do something like that. So with that in mind, and you're going to add up all your points, the opponent's going to add up all their points. Whoever is the most will simply earn victory for that round. There are no carryovers. You do not carry over the points that you earn from one round to the next. You're just simply going to record, okay, I won this round, best 2 out of 3 will win the entire game. And that's the gist of it. Like I said, this is just a visual representation, quick one. I do have a written article out there that does touch on this too, but I at least wanted to show you some of the cards and what you could do with them. As you can see, they're pretty, they're pretty good as far as the art is concerned. Some of the effects say like there's riding in this game where you can put turtles down on top of other turtles in order to, let's say that a card effect would get rid of a turtle. You can instead get the riding turtle off first. Little things like that. So yeah, here's a quick look at that. And this is just the one deck. The other deck that would belong to the other player has totally different cards. This particular deck I was looking at has a lot of these Turtron hatchlings, and all of their card effects say, replace this card with another card from your deck. So this deck seems to center around swapping out these turtles freely from your deck in order to get different types out onto your field. And I think there was one card in here that gave you a huge bonus if you managed to get them all out. Off the top of my head, I don't know which one it is. I think, yeah, the Legendary Defender possibly. If all 5 Turtron hatchlings are present on your side of the field, Turtron may be specially summoned from your hand, deck, or pawn being your discard area, into any row with double HP. So yeah, little things like that. You're going to be catering these decks around these different powers, and trying to form the best deck possible. And again, there's going to be more decks supposedly coming after the Kickstarter campaign is over. So there you go, folks. That was Too Many Turtles. If you like what you see here, head on over to the Kickstarter page, link in the below description. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.